Okay, so we are back again, and today we are going to talk about scaffold and then the app bar. Now when we talk about scaffold, oh my spelling, scaffold is like the building blocks for a screen. Okay, so even though scaffold is not the only thing you can use, there are a lot of widgets you can use to build items onto your screen. Scaffold is the most simpler one because it gives you a set of properties that you can just put your widget into to create your screen. So we are going to look at the scaffold, and then we are going to look at the app bar. So app bar, so then we create a screen or a widget. Everything in Flutter is a widget. Every component on the screen that you see is a widget. Thank you. Okay, so we create a stateless widget, okay, because we are not going to be making changes to it. So you call class, and we are going to call it home screen. In Flutter, a class starts with a capital letter. A variable starts with a small letter. Let's take note of that. So it extends a stateless widget. Okay, now we have this. We know what stateless widget is. So okay, now the next thing we do is to create a constructor for the class, and we do that by say home screen, and then we say super.key, and then we we put this into this, and then say super.key. So that is that. This is a constructor for our home screen widget. Okay, but they say missing implementation of stateless widget.build. Now every widget is built. Okay, whenever changes occur, the widgets are built. That is the stateful widget. And then say yes, whenever changes occur, a widget is built. So this build method is required for every widget. So whichever widget you create, you are required to override this build method. Now this build method is in every widget. Okay, a stateless widget implements or has this is an abstract class. So as you know, we implement the methods in an abstract class. So when we control click here, it should take us to the class, and stateless widget extends a widget. Okay, when we go to widget extends. Okay, we are not going there. Okay, so widgets, this stateless widget has this build. Where is this build method, and then takes the parameter of a build context. So this simply means that if you are implementing this for stateful, this is stateless widget, we are going to have to create a method exactly like this. Okay, so let me close this. So come back here. So we have to go to override, and then create widget build. Sorry, it's a function, but then it should return a widget. So we put a build context here. You say context, and you open this. Now you get this error that says body might complete normally, causing now to be returned. So this is going to be an error. So it simply means that we should return something. We should return a widget when this build method is called. So simply we can return. Here we are looking at scaffold, so we are going to say scaffold, and then now I save it, Ctrl+S, and now we have returned scaffold. Now this scaffold is empty. Okay, and there are a lot of things you can do in this scaffold. Now in Flutter, one thing about widgets is that we nest widgets. We nest them. That means we can put one widget in another widget in another, another widget in that order. Okay, you can do it like that depending on whichever interface we are trying to build. So inside this scaffold, inside this bracket, I'll open the bracket. You see, when you hover over it, you are going to see that it has all these properties that we can implement. Okay, so these two are the most important, the body and then the app bar. The body simply means that the content of the page. Let's say Scaffold is like a web page. Let's say it's something like that. So a web page has a title. Okay, we have the nav bar, the title bar, and all these other details, the content of the page. So I'm first going to look at the body. So when we call body, the body also returns a widget. Okay, so as you can see, widget. What are we going to put here? So here today we are just going to put container over here. Now when I save, we still have blank because there's nothing in there. We have not even added this widget to the app. Okay, so to add this widget to the app, let's come down here inside the material app, and then we have home. So home, that is the main screen. When you run your app, the first screen that should show. So we are going to call this home screen there. Okay, now this is a constant. We are not making any changes, so we're just going to put constant here, and then we are going to put constant here too. Okay, so this is the screen. Now as we make changes, you can see the home screen being built here. This is container. So let's look at the app bar. So this is the app bar. Now the app bar takes a widget called app bar. So I will save, and then you see what happens. Okay, nothing happens. So this is an app bar. An app bar takes so many widgets and then properties. As you can, we can implement all of them here, but then the first thing we are going to be looking at is the title. The title is what appears on the app bar. So here I'm just going to create I put title, and I'm going to put text there and say my app, or let me just say home page. As you can see, home page draws over here. Now there's another property. So if you press Ctrl and then space, you have a list of properties that you can use here. So I'll talk about center title. Where is it? Center title. Now this one takes a boolean. Okay, let me go to this. It takes a bool, so the value should be either true or false. So it indicates whether, let me just close this a bit, whether the title should be centered. Now this title is not centered, so we are going to put center title and put true over there, and when we do that, we see that the title moves to the center. You have another property that says leading. So the leading is simply a widget to display before the title. Usually what we put here is going to be like the back button, so you can simply put back button here and then save, and it will automatically implement a back button here. But this is our main screen. If you go back, our app will quit, so you don't need a back button. Also here we can actually put an icon here and then say icons dot back. Okay, I'm not touching icons here. So that is the leading. You can put the back button there. Yeah, I'm not touching on icons today. Back buttons there. Even no, okay, you see how this thing is. I should talk about it. You see, it is all in one line, separated by commas. At the end, I want it to display vertically. So at the end of this, I'm just going to put a comma there. Okay, now when I save, it should appear like this in this order. Okay, so there are more properties. We have actions. So these actions take a list. Okay, this 2 square brackets simply means a list. That is, where is it, a list of widgets. Okay, so here you can put multiple widgets here. What can I put here? Let me put an icon there, and I'm going to put icons dot gs. Do you have gs settings over there? So you can see settings icon over here. Okay, we can put what else can we put here? So, icon, and say icons dot star, and you have 2 icons over here. So this is the action. I mean, you see what I'm trying to do over here, but we don't need them here. So this is some of the things you can do for the scaffold. You can also do background color. That is let's see, colors dot, let's see, brown. So you save, and then you see the whole thing becomes brown. Okay, this is very bad. Don't put a brown color there because your color is black. So I'm going to delete this leading icon. Now if you don't want to type the leading icon, if you know that your page is automatically going to need a back icon, you should just put this there, automatically implement leading. Now when you type this, just put this to true. This simply means that you should automatically put a back button there for you. Okay, but then this is the main page. We are not going back, so it is not going to do that for you. Yes, so controls whether we should try to implement the leading widget. If now, because we don't have leading, this should be true. Okay, so we are taking this away. Now let's go to the scaffold. You have this body. Okay, now this is the body, and this is the app bar. So this is the app bar here, and then this is the body. Now let's inspect this element. So I click on this thing here. Okay, so as you can see, this is your widget tree. So the root of your app is my app, as you can see there, and you can see material app here, and inside your home screen is the home, and then the widgets you are seeing here is the scaffold. Okay, the home screen returns a scaffold. So this is the scaffold. The scaffold contains a container and then the app bar. The app bar has a test of home page. Okay, we will be touching on this dev tools later, but then I just want you to see how these widgets are nested inside each other. Okay, so that will be that for okay, no, let me add a few things. So we also have floating action button. So I can see icons dot plus. You have plus, no, add. So when we add floating action button, you see there's an icon showing here. I mean, you get this. There are a lot of icons you can add over here, but then there are a lot of properties, a lot for this scaffold that you can implement. But then this is all I can talk about today. So we are slowly progressing. See you in the next lesson.